Hi, my name is Dana Arnett, co-host of Wicked Marketing, along with my partner, Carlos Cepene. You can find more information about us and our business on LinkedIn, or if you have any questions, email us at info@wickedbionic.com. Subscribe to Wicked Marketing on Apple Podcasts and write an awesome review for us. We're also on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Google Play. Thanks for listening.
Hi, this is Carlos.
And this is Dana. And today we're going to be talking about blog writing. I don't know how many blog writers there are out there, but super important to your marketing. So we're calling this one The Truth About Blog Writing.
Yeah, so I think the reason why I wanted to call it The Truth About Blog Writing is because I think a lot of people out there believe that blogging is an integral part of their marketing, which it is. It's just understanding why.
Right, so you don't just write. I mean, we love writing, but writing is posting it is not the way that you use it to your advantage in marketing.
Yeah, I mean, so you can write all the posts that you want to have it highlight your expertise, right? To talk about your business, to talk about the things that matter to you. Whatever your editorial strategy is behind blog writing, what matters is what you do with the blogs after and the analysis that you do of how do you utilize those blogs. So a lot of marketers use blogs because of SEO reasons, right? You can't cram every possible term and keyword that's related to your business into your homepage or the pages of your website. So the blog gives you a unique opportunity to attract people based on specific topics. What people don't realize, I guess, is that the way that SEO works or SEO takes advantage of these blogs is not only topic-based, it's also by using different elements that go into the blog. So that's why I wanted to cover that in this podcast today. So the first thing you got to think about is that the way that a blog is written matters to a search engine.
Sure.
So the first 250 words, I think is what it is, or 250 characters within a blog post are of heavier weight to a search engine than the rest of the blog post, right? So you want to make sure that your first paragraph covers information that's not only relevant, but that is written in a way that tells the search engine why this blog matters, how it matters, and why it is important to what you're promoting. So you want to think about that when you're talking to your blog writers. So blog writers, whether you're writing the blog or you're hiring a blog writer, they will just write about the topic. They will research about the topic.
I have a great example, actually, because we were just talking about this yesterday. We have a terrific blog writer that we use for various things, sometimes for clients when they don't have the time, sometimes for ourselves, and we just have a specific topic that they have the time to research for us, and then we work through editorial on that to make sure that it ends up in the voice and saying the things that we want. But a new blog writer to us submitted something that was a great topic. It was very well written, but the links that he put in there were not links that were advantageous to us once we posted them on our site. So do you want to just give us an example of what you did and what the issues were?
Yeah. So when you think about what search engines actually care about, and not a lot of people know about what search engines care about at the very basic level, there are what are called outbound links and inbound links. And there's also what's called internal linking. And this all sounds like marketing jargon, so I'm going to explain each one of them.
Sure. Outbound
links are the links that go from your website to other websites on the internet, right? So the way that a search engine cares about those is by you having outbound links, you're giving value. You're sharing your value, the value of your website, the trust of your website with the websites that you're linking to. The search engine looks at what those websites are that you're linking out to. Now, the reason why that matters to you is because if those websites are trustworthy, if those websites are considered good websites, then your links are of value to you as well.
Like if you're linking to the Huffington Post, HuffPo, or CNN or something that's of value.
Or Forrester for research,
right.
or
Pew
Research, or if you're talking about statistics, things like that. So that matters. The other thing that matters is the words that you link. So in the past, people used to link the they would say a sentence and then they would say click here, and then the click here
That's right.
was the link, right? So the search engine actually pays attention to, or the spider from the search engine, which is a whole other term, but that's
Think
what
of spider
reads,
crawling along your
crawling
text.
along your text and reading everything there. The search engine actually cares about what that text is. Why? Because that link tells the search engine, if you're linking to a source that is a trusted source and you're linking to it with a topic that is covered in the link that you're linking to, it tells the search engine, okay, this article is validated by a trustworthy source.
Right.
Which means it's a better article than
Right.
people out there that don't put any articles out, or that put articles out that don't link anywhere.
Right.
Right. So yours is validated. People can validate it by clicking on a link and going to a trustworthy site and reading about the topic there as well. So that gives value to you. That gives value to the site that you're linking
Yes,
to.
another
as
layer
well.
of trust.
It's another layer of trust. Then there is the inbound links. That's people linking to your article. So if you're writing good articles that are not just full of keywords, that are not just full of jargon, eventually you will rank on those articles and people will link to you. If the sites that are linking to you are trustworthy sites, then that's good for you.
Right.
Right? It's helping you. It's building your trust. Now, what I tell our clients is whenever someone says, hey, can I link to your website? Or can I use some of your article? Or when you write an article to be featured on another website, or when you write a press release that's going to get picked up, think about the words that you're putting in that link back to your website, back to that article, so that it creates that trust and it builds that value of your article. So if you have an article, let's say that article is about blogging, right? You want to have words that say, effective ways to blog, linking back to your article.
Or as an example, I think a good example was we work with local banks, community banks, and Carlos wrote a great blog recently on wickedbionic.com/news is where all of our blogs are. But he wrote a great article on working with local banks and how local banks can get customers through marketing. And that's a great example of the links out that you did. And
and the links in.
And the inbound
And
links.
then you have to think about the internal linking too. So when you're using keywords on blogs that are related to your product or service, you would link those keywords to the pages on your site that talk about those products and services.
Right.
And this is something that people forget to do, right? So when I wrote the article about the finance market, the financial market, and how the 5 tips to easily help them with their
Customers.
local marketing, every time I mentioned online services or marketing or
Research. Right.
or anything specific to the services that we provide, then I link to those sections on our website.
Yeah,
right?
just because you're reading a blog on somebody's website, the idea is not that, and then they'll look around on my website since they're there and all the other things that I have to offer. Not true. And Carlos's point is you want to, within that article, because you've captured them or their attention already, to get them to then to click to other things that are on your website.
Yeah, and that's the point, right? Because then you're not only keeping people on your website, which reduces your bounce rate, meaning people coming, reading an article and leaving. And it also gives the search engine trust about the main pages on your website,
Right.
which are the ones that you really care about ranking on search engines for specific topics. So that helps. Those are 3 ways that blogs can help you, right? Outbound links, inbound links, and internal links.
Right.
And making sure that you don't do what's called fully qualify your internal links.
Yeah, explain that, because I
And
think
I'll
that's
explain
important.
that. When your web developer is linking links to your own website, it should not include the domain of your website in the link. And this is something that you just tell your web developer or your blog writer.
So give an
not to
example,
do.
HTTPS.
So normally, like let's say Wicked Bionic, it would be HTTP. If we were linking to the news section, it would be https://www.wickedbionic.com/news, right? If I'm doing internal linking, you can skip everything before the / after the .com. So you just link to / news. If you do the full URL, that's called doing a fully qualified link, the search engine will consider that an external link, as if it's leaving your website.
Right.
So when search engines look at your blog article, they look at how many external links you have, how many internal links you have, and how many internal
and outbound.
and outbound, right? So, and it creates a balance of them. So if you have too many outbound links, which doing a fully qualified URL counts as an outbound link.
Right.
If you have too many outbound links, the search engine thinks that you're writing blogs to help other sites only. So that's what's called a black hat tactic. That's something that black hat marketers, and that's the bad marketers.
And it doesn't pay off. I mean, ultimately, search engine
it doesn't
figures
pay off
out.
for the site that's creating the article.
Right.
It pays off for the other sites, but it's not helping you.
Right.
It's not helping
Right.
you. It's not a good tactic to
Right.
implement. So the point of this podcast in particular is to be careful about these things and pay attention to these things, because you could be spending money and have a blog writer that's a writer at the end of the day,
Yes.
right? They don't know
They're not a
these
marketer,
tips
right.
necessarily. So they may be helping other people more than they're helping you, and they don't even know.
Right, unknowingly. You know, I think a great point to make, because we have a client that's in the technology sector. They have local businesses in Los Angeles, but they're in e-commerce, and then they also provide lots of services. But they, it's been so fascinating as we've taken over their work in the last year and looking at their blogs, which they have many from very long ago, and now we've posted many new ones. But we can check, you know, which blogs are performing so well, or which pages, which are the blog pages we were looking at that are performing well, and how old are some of those? I mean, some of them are 3-4 years old, and they're the top performing. Why would you say that that's that?
Well,
that
so here's, and that's actually a great point, because those blogs were written by a different marketing agency that came before us, and our client is in the technology services area, right? And the blogs that they had written are very simple, are general market. So it's things like how to fix things on your iPhone, or how to upgrade your
MacBook
operating
Pro,
system.
yes.
Now think about it this way. You're writing blogs for what? What's the reason? It's not only to share your expertise, but to use search engines to drive people to
Yes.
your website, right? Now think about this statistic. The area of your website that has the highest bounce rate, period, is your blog. Meaning people land on the blog, they read the blog, they leave your site.
Right, done.
Why? And this is not true in every case. There's obviously marketers out there that are good.
Right, they're doing a great job.
We take care of making sure that this doesn't happen. But the reason is because people are so worried about getting people to their website that they forget that they need to do something with them once they get there.
Right.
So if you're in the technology services area and you're writing blogs that are about very basic technology things, that's of value to people in the general market,
Right.
not in the technology services area.
Right.
So you're bringing general market people to your site. So if you don't, luckily for this client of ours,
They do face consumer as well
They
as
also have a
B2B.
consumer division.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't think about these things. They just think about, I'm going to write stuff to bring them in. Okay, but what do you do with them once they're there?
Right.
So things that you want to make sure you do is, and this is something I read about the other day, and it's so incredibly basic, yet so important. People will do something if you ask them to do it.
Right. Isn't that so true? And how many times do we not even ask? I mean, just in your personal life, you know?
You don't even ask.
Right,
So
never.
you're so interested in getting them there that you don't ask them to do anything.
Right.
And it's so basic.
Right.
So the way that we respond to that and we implement that is simply in between the first couple of paragraphs, maybe. You put a link. Hey, if you're interested in iPhone related, or you're having iPhone related issues, would you
Check
be
out.
interested in a 10-minute consultation with one of our technicians?
Right.
And you say, click here, you know,
To
you want to say
schedule a
click
call.
here,
Yeah.
but schedule a call with one of our technicians.
Right.
Just
Because maybe
ask
you've
them
just
to
solved
do
a
it.
problem. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe they have a problem and you just gave them an option.
Yeah. So just ask them to do something.
Right.
Right. So like we do at the head of our podcast, where
Right.
we ask people to give us a review. Why not?
Why not?
Why not ask them to give us
And
a
people,
review?
what's so great is if you're just asking, people don't have to. And how are we in our personal lives? So gracious, you know. If somebody asks, you know, hey, can you help me with it? Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. No
I mean,
big
when
deal.
you look at people's products and services, they're all about helping other people.
Right. Right.
A lot of people are all about, I want to do this because this is what I know how to do, and I want to do this for other people.
Right.
So when you think about it from that perspective, asking people to do something is not a bad thing.
No.
So
Well, because and what's human? Everybody has the free choice to decide if they want to or not, or if it's applicable in the moment or not. But if you don't ask, somebody cannot say yes or no.
exactly. So think about that. When you're writing your blogs, then don't only write to get people to your site, or don't only have your blog writer write to get people to your site. Write to provide a solution to people, yes, but to also get them to engage with your brand, get them other places in your site. So inbound links, outbound links, internal links are very important. The first 250 characters or 250 words from a blog article are very important to you, are very important to getting people to your website. So making sure that these simple tidbits of information are implemented into your blogs is going to make a world of difference at the end of the day.
How important would you say the title is, to wrap it up with like the title? How important would you say that is? Because that is in the URL.
So the purpose really of the title, and there's a lot of people that use different techniques, right? It depends on what you're trying to achieve. There's a technique called clickbaiting, which I don't particularly love, where you put enough information in the title to just have people hook, right? But that's when you think about it from a search engine standpoint, from a link sharing standpoint, from a social standpoint, right? When you post something about a blog somewhere, whether it's people searching and it comes up, or people seeing it on their feed on social media because you've posted it onto your wall, the title is the first impression, right? It's your chance to make a first impression on the person reading. So not only thinking about the value of it from an SEO standpoint, but thinking about it from the value as content.
What is somebody getting to get them to continue to read
To
too?
get, if you're solving a problem,
Right.
then tell people what problem you're solving.
Right.
So that then they'll be interested in clicking on it, right? So people use clickbait. Why? Because the click is important to the value of the content. And the value of the content is what the search engine uses to determine where it ranks,
Right.
right? So what happens is if you use clickbait too much, the search engine starts learning that you're a clickbait site, right? And that affects the value of your content because clickbait is not value,
No.
right? So think about making it attractive and think about where strategically you place the keywords that are most important in the title. Because the closer to the beginning of the sentence, the closer to the left, because people read left to right. The closer to the left, the more value those keywords have.
Isn't that crazy? I have to say, for people listening, it's just so crazy when you think about it. It's like, I just want to write something for my website. It is, yes, absolutely do that. But to use it as a valuable tool, these little tips and tricks are so necessary to really make it worth the time and the effort, I believe.
Yeah, and everywhere, guys, everywhere on digital, it's about value.
Yep.
It's about organic value. So while there's tactics out there like clickbait that you can use and reuse, if you abuse,
Done.
done.
Yep. For sure. So go enjoy your blog writing. Go enjoy talking to your blog writer about different things they can do. And we hope that this is informative to you. We find it so fascinating. And what's great is it continues to evolve. So you're always able to look at it, optimize, do it better, be smarter. And we always want to share the latest things.
And that's one thing. So as you implement these things, create a baseline of how your bounce rate looked like before you start implementing them.
Right.
What did your bounce rate look like? What did your entries look like? What did your exits look like, right? Look at your Google Analytics, please, people, and make a baseline, and then start implementing these tactics so that you can track the difference, because really that's what's going to excite you.
And going to motivate. Yeah, 100%.
Motivated,
You're absolutely right. Great idea. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Have a great day.
Have a great day, guys.
Thank you for listening today. Don't forget to subscribe to and share Wicked Marketing on Apple Podcasts and write an awesome review for us. We are also on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Google Play. See you next time.